Morning, everybody. Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. Getting ready to go into the hot tub in a couple of minutes. And before I do, I wanted to answer a question because I received an email this morning from somebody who's just getting started selling on Amazon. And she's been going out sourcing a bunch of books. She's been sourcing a bunch of DVDs. And she's noticed that she can't sell DVDs unless she gets ungated, okay? And when it comes to DVDs, that's one of the categories where you're not going to be able to get auto ungated. I've talked about this before. If you're new to selling books, you might scan 100 books and maybe 80 to 85 of them you'll be restricted on, and you try to sell them and it says you can't sell them, right? And there's nothing you can do. And I always say what you have to do is sell the 10, 15 books that you can sell, and then over time Amazon will auto ungate you, right? Which means it'll say requires approval. You go ahead, you click that button to try to get auto ungated, and it says, congratulations, you can sell the item without having to provide invoices. But when it comes to DVDs, that's a category where you're going to have to buy from a trustworthy distributor that Amazon, accepts invoices from to ungate you. And when it comes to getting ungated in a category like DVDs, in the past, really over the last 5, 6, 7 years, they've only been requiring 10 DVDs to get ungated. The same with CDs. Now, depending on your account, and it's differing per account, your selling history, some people it's still 10, some it's 50, some it's 100. And the girl who sent me a message said, Steve, Amazon's requiring 100 DVDs. What should I do? Where can I go? Should I do it? Is it worth it? And that's what I want to talk about in this video. So where do you go? christianbook.com, okay? I'll put a little B-roll on the screen. christianbook.com is a trusted distributor that I've used in the past, that a lot of my students have used. And all you have to do is buy however many quantity Amazon's requesting of a single ASIN. So if it's 10, buy 10 of an ASIN, right? Or 10 of a DVD that has an ASIN on Amazon, right? So it's selling on Amazon. Buy 10. Go to add a product. It's going to say you're restricted. Then they're going to ask for an invoice. Provide the invoice that christianbook.com gives you after you purchase the 10, 50, or 100, okay? Sometimes this could take 3 tries, 4 tries, 5 tries, 7 tries, up to 10 tries. Honestly, it depends on your Amazon rep. If you get declined and they say, we're not accepting your invoice, make sure that your information is correct, that your name is correct, that all the details on the invoice are correct. You can highlight some, portions of the document. And I'll put an example down below. So I'll share with you a DVD ungating guide that'll show you an example from christianbook.com and how you can highlight the ASIN, highlight certain parts of it, and that tends to help. If they reject you, close the case on Amazon. So go into your case, close it, and then reapply again, and that'll give you a different rep, and that'll increase your chances of Amazon accepting your invoice. It just happens, right? I don't even know if it's AI now, or it's robots, or it's people in India, right? But sometimes a perfectly good invoice will get rejected. So keep that in mind. So now I want to answer the question, is it worth it? Okay. And I'm going to kind of block this sun because it's getting a little brutal out here. But I'm going to say, is it worth it to get ungated for DVDs? Well, I would say it depends on your level of seriousness. Are you actually going to go out and source DVDs and list them and ship them out? If you're not super duper serious, then it's definitely not going to be worth it for you to go buy 100 DVDs or 50 DVDs. 10, it's not so bad because on christianbook.com, you could find DVDs that are like on clearance or discounted that maybe you could buy 10 for like $20, $30, $40, $50. It's not too bad. And maybe you could sell them on Amazon and only lose a couple of bucks. So all in all, you're not really out 50 bucks. Maybe you're out 10 or $15. And that's the goal. When you're going to christianbook.com or any distributor that you want to try to get ungated for with CDs or DVDs, you want to find something that sells quickly and has a minimal loss. Or you could just buy it, submit the invoice, and not even sell it and have a complete loss. But why would you not try to sell it if, you can at least get a couple of your dollars back? But a lot of the DVDs and CDs on christianbook.com are going to lose you a really good deal of money. So sometimes it's not even worth it to send it in. But if you hunt and you look and you do some research on christianbook.com, you can find winners, items that even make a couple of bucks. But it depends. You got to put in the time, put in the research, and you got to go looking, and the website's updating on a regular basis. So are you serious? Are you actually like going to go all in and be going to library sales and thrift stores, or maybe you're planning on doing eBay to Amazon down the road, you're going to spend the capital. You're not just dabbling, which I've talked about in other videos. A lot of people, they get started on Amazon and they just dabble. They just play around, they mess around, and you're just wasting your money, especially if Amazon's requiring 100 quantity. I mean, that could cost you $500 to $1,000. Maybe you could find 100, less, but christianbook.com might not even have 100 quantity available. So it could actually get quite tricky trying to be able to even find a distributor that has 100 quantity available. But if you're really going to go all in, especially if you have plans of doing eBay to Amazon, I mean, I flip DVDs all the time that make $15, $20, $30 profit. I mean, I've sold probably well over 10,000 DVDs from eBay to Amazon over the last 5 years. Nowadays, it's much less, but back in 2021, 2022, I mean, I had some years where I was selling over 5,000 DVDs just in 1 year, but now I've expanded into toys, office supplies, electronics, tools, other categories, and I'm going after really high ASP stuff, average selling price stuff. So the DVDs are great, but sometimes the ASP is a little bit less. They're mega competitive just because they're pretty easy to get Ungated in. So I found other categories that are better for me, but obviously require a lot more capital. So that's the thing, if you're really serious about this, then yeah, I think it's worth it to go get Ungated with DVDs. And I think there's a lot of money you're missing out on and leaving on the table if you're going to library sales, thrift stores especially, because a lot of people don't take the time to get Ungated. And there's a lot of DVDs out there, believe it or not, that can sell for $50, $60, $80, $100. Now, most of them are only going to be selling for $15, $20, the new sealed ones, right, that maybe aren't super duper rare. But you find some rare complete series DVDs or some just obscure DVDs that for some reason, there's just not a lot of them out there anymore, and somebody wants it and they don't want to take the risk of buying it used and it being scratched up. People will pay silly, stupid money for DVDs. The same with CDs, not as much. I notice like DVDs tend to go for a lot more. And with CDs, I like flipping CDs, but a lot of times like the jewel cases are damaged, or they just, even the new ones don't seem to sell for as much as DVDs. I love DVDs. I'm obsessed with DVDs. It's probably my favorite category, even more than books, honestly, especially new DVDs. I love new DVDs. So yeah, christianbook.com. But also I wanted to mention, and this is something that I wrote in my response email, is if you're brand new, and even if you are serious, right? And maybe you're like, I'm serious, Steve. Like, I'm going to freaking do this. I'm going to crush this. Sometimes it's best to like not spend your money trying to get Ungated for DVDs right now and just focus on books, right? Because you will be able to sell some books. If you are brand new, I know 70, 85%, whatever of those books are going to be gated. But as you sell 5 books, 10 books, 20 books, they're going to auto Ungate you. And not only are you going to be able to sell those 15 out of 100 books, but then it's going to be 20 and then 25 and 30. It stinks. Amazon's gotten to the point now where they don't trust anybody. They have enough sellers. So if they're going to bring new sellers on, then they're going to want to vet the sellers that are coming on, and they want you to prove that you're a real business person, that you're an actual seller who's not scamming and selling fake books and counterfeits. And as you receive more feedback and you sell more items, Amazon will trust you more and they will give you more breathing room, right? In other words, Amazon will allow you to start to sell more products, get auto Ungated. And again, if you're restricted on products and it says requires approval, don't just assume that you can't sell the item. If you scan it with the Amazon seller app, you scroll down a little bit, it's going to say eligibility requires approval. Click that button and then it's going to give you one of two options. Number one, it's going to say you got to give us invoices, or number two, it's going to say congratulations, right? You're approved to sell this item. So a lot of people think that they're gated on, I'll say books for the most part, but they're not. They could get auto Ungated. Now, this isn't going to work for DVDs. Like I've said, that's a blocked category that you will need to get approved in. But hopefully this adds some context and helps you out a little bit. If you have any more questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. But man, the sun is out. It is going to be nice. So I am excited to get in the hot tub right now. If you guys want to come in, I'm getting in the next 5 minutes. So you know where I live. Well, I hope you don't know where I live, but maybe you do. If you do, come on over. We're going in the hot tub. We could talk reselling. We could talk getting Ungated. But with that being said, guys, appreciate you all. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.